Good morning. Happy Monday. Here we are, another great week. It's going to be gorgeous, I hope, this week. I hope you had a chance to get out in the sunshine this weekend. I was lucky enough to get in some golf a couple of days. It was just gorgeous. So we had a good walk and there was some yard work, and so we were pretty productive. I hope you were as well. Last week, we worked on an argument. As you remember, we read Is Survival Selfish? So this week, we're going to continue that. We're also going to look at watching or viewing an argument, and I'll give you that assignment here in just a minute. I do want to start with hoping that you all received your email and you had a chance to get that module sheet downloaded. Once you have the module sheet downloaded, then I would just save it somewhere. I would just put it somewhere where you can access it easily, print it off if you have that capability. And if not, that's okay. Just keep referring to that if you can on a screen somewhere. But as you walk through this week's module sheet, you'll see that we will be discussing our argument from last week. We'll continue that discussion on Is Survival Selfish? And we'll be doing that in turnitin.com. So make sure that you are able to do that, and I'll walk you through that again here in just a minute. It looks like most of you are getting the handle of that, and it's great. I mean, we did that in class before this shut down, but I know some of you, it was just a little, it's hard for us to clear the cobwebs and kind of remember what we did. So I think that's clicking now. That will be one of your assignments this week, but remember you have 2 assignments every week. So your other assignment is going to be watching, like I said, or viewing an argument. And I'm going to walk you through that in just a moment. If you look at the module sheet, it takes you through the objectives and then the pathway. Like these are the steps, but you don't have to do them in this order. It's just this is the logical way because here are your due dates posted over there. So let's go ahead and look at just a reminder on our argument from last week when we worked with Is Survival Selfish? So when I go and have that discussion this week, I need to go to my turnitin.com account and I'm going to click Is Survival Selfish? That's the topic I want to click on. So I'll click on that. I'll read the directions just like I did for night, and I will post my response. Remember, in addition to posting your response, part of having a discussion is that interaction, and that's one of the objectives that we're trying to reach. We have these standards, as we've talked about before, and one of those is being able to communicate and discuss and to listen to other people's points of view and to thoughtfully and thoroughly consider what they're saying and then communicate our response back to them. So we will be doing that. We'll continue that just like we did before. But I do need you to respond to 3 people again. So you'll post your response and then you're going to read through and see what everybody else has said, and anything that might spark more conversation new or ideas, you're going to continue on with that. So you'll click right here on Is Survival Selfish? There's an extra credit topic that you'll see posted here. And again, remember, extra credit means you don't have to do it, but every single week I post an extra credit opportunity for you. This is one of them this week. And the topic is just a discussion on something that is being discussed right now in our community and in our school district. Should we go back this school year? What do you believe to be true? And back up your argument with your reasons and your evidence. There are 2 sides, both very, very sound arguments on this issue. So I want you to think about it, and then I want you to post your response here and then respond to others. So that's just extra credit, though. You don't have to do that. All right. Let's look at today's lesson on an argument and working through the argument in particular that you'll be viewing this week. So on the end of the module sheet, I want to show you that. On the bottom of the module sheet, I did post for you TED Talk topics. So there are several here for you to choose from. Pick something that might interest you. They're anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. But I would like you to pick a topic that you do have some interest in. It makes it a lot easier to do the assignments, a lot more enjoyable, right? So what a TED Talk is a TED Talk is where you listen to individuals who usually are experts in their field in some way, shape, or form, or if they're not an an expert necessarily. They're definitely someone that has done a lot of work in that field or has some experience with it or definitely an opinion on it. And hopefully they're backing that opinion up with their reasoning and their evidence. So what I did for you, like I said, is I selected some of them for you, and you'll be able to look at some of those in a minute here. The concept of a TED Talk was actually originated by a gentleman, and then they just went sort of like viral in the world of public speaking. So now they're all over the entire world. It was originated in 1984 as a conference, but now has gone on since then until the present day, all over the world, like I said, New York, in Canada, Los Angeles, in Europe. They're all over on all different subjects and topics. So in your list, I gave you several, but here's one of them, for example. Why school should start later for teens. We talked about this in class earlier in the year, if you remember. We discussed this a little bit. Some of you chose this for your essay that you wrote about. And this is just what a TED Talk looks like. It opens up, and then you just watch and enjoy it. So you can see already here that, oops, I can't get this in. But you can see that she has opened up her argument already, and she started with a rhetorical device that we've talked about. So I want you to pay attention to that. She tried to grab you, she gave you an attention grabber, and she tried to, pull you in with her, with her little anecdote. That's what she chose for her attention grabber. So you'll just watch your TED Talk, whichever you select, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking for those rhetorical strategies that we've been working on, not only this particular quarter, but all year. Think about what that speaker is doing for you. Think about, are they using parallelism? Are they using repetition? Are they using rhetorical questions? Look closely at the logos, the ethos, the pathos, and pay attention to what particular evidence that they are using that creates those appeals, the logical, the that connection of trustworthiness and character, the pathos, that emotion. So I want you really tuning into that. That will be part of your assignment. So you'll choose the TED Talk. As you're viewing it, you're going to be paying attention to those particular aspects. I've created for you a worksheet that will help you. And that will also then give you all that you need to complete your first assignment on Schoology this week. It will also, if you use it, in its entirety, it'll really help you with your assessment on Schoology at the end of the week, which will be a CRT, which stands for constructive response. Okay? And your thesis is going to be really, you're looking at their claim particularly. So you're just going to be asserting and analyzing what they've already said. You're not really creating your own ideas necessarily. I will attach in Schoology the rubric and the student samples for you to see, what gets a good score and how do you say what you need to say when you're analyzing an argument. So you evaluate it on whether it has what it needs, and then you analyze it, and that's part of that communicating piece as to how sound the argument was. You look deeper at that. So let's go ahead and talk about that a little bit. Remember, as a reminder to you, an argument is a statement, it's that claim. And then that claim has to be backed up with reasons, has to be supported with evidence. So it's not just stating your opinion. There's more to it than that as you dig in. And we talked about that. If you need a refresher on that, I do have that in a lesson last week too. I walked through, what are fallacies or those gaps and the holes in the logic and in the evidence. So you can go back and look at that. So when you are evaluating these arguments, that means you're looking at them, you're breaking them into pieces. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to use this sheet which I have downloaded for you. Oops, maybe not here. It's not. Sorry, where is it at? It is. Oh my heavens, I had it here for you. Now I lost it. Right here. Okay, sorry about that. So here's the worksheet that you need. And if you can print it off, great, because then you can just write down directly on it, which is easier sometimes. Or if you can't print it off, you don't have a printer at your house, then you can just use the content and then copy it into your notes as if you would in class, as if I wrote this on the board and you were just copying things down. But you will need to make sure that you list the title of the TED Talk, the speaker, of course, or the author in this case, the claim that's being made. So what is the argument that they're going to support? And like I said, I want you paying attention to the rhetorical appeals. I want you noting, documenting down the reasons. Usually there's 2 or 3 in a sound argument. Then evidence. Think of what we've done all year with your notice and note annotations. That's your CC, your exclamation marks. You think of those ahas, think of those connections, think of the questions, think of the numbers, the stats, the statistics. Think about the quotes that they're using. Those are all evidence, right? And that's why we've been working with them all year. We're piecing and putting all this together now. You know by now that the authors and speakers, they use words intentionally. They pick words that are going to help create the tone that they want, that's going to deliver the ethos, the pathos, or the logos for them, that's going to connect with their audience. And I want you to pay attention to that when you view your TED Talk. What words is the speaker using that stand out to you, that are important to their topic and to their rhetorical strategies? Then also listen, because like I told you, not all these people are experts. Many of them are, but some of them are spouting their opinions and have maybe some reasoning, but not what we would consider to be clear, solid evidence. So look and see if there are any fallacies. Remember, we did that in last week's video lesson as well. Think about what is wrong, what the holes might be in their thinking. And there may not be any. I don't know which one you choose. So it's not like you have to find any. But if there are some, and there are in a couple of these, so I want you to note them here. And then your tone is, of course, we talked about that last week too. What is the tone of the speaker, the author? I did list for you again just the logos, the ethos, the pathos, just to remind you of what those are. So when you're looking and you're watching and you're listening, you will know exactly what it is you're looking and listening for. Okay, so that's assignment number 1. Well, this is just your worksheet. You won't turn this into me. But what you will do is you'll take all this information that you've gathered, and then you'll go out to Schoology. And there's an assignment that will be sitting there called, it'll be called TED Talk assignment. And you will answer the questions on that assignment. I guarantee you they're going to relate directly to this note-taking activity. So the better notes you take, the easier the assignment will be. Honors students, you have an additional assignment you will note. It's your springboard assignment. And I know you don't have your springboard books at home, so I am sending it out to you in your email. There will be a video posted for you on Wednesday on the honors site that will be separate, and that will walk you through how to do that springboard assignment. It's called a soapstone analysis, and we'll review that, and I'll go into that with you in the video on Wednesday. So you have a second assignment related to this video as well. Right. Let's see if you can remember. I just want to remind you of what you're doing this week. Okay, so you're watching the TED Talk. You are going to take notes, and then you're going to answer assignment number 1 in Schoology. You also are going to go out and comment in Turnitin.com, post your reply about survival selfish, that argument that you've read, reply to 3 friends, maybe do the extra credit if you wish, and then on Friday you'll do the assessment, your constructed response on Schoology. And I'll attach the rubric and samples for you there so you can see that. Pay close attention to what you're learning, because your assessment this week on Schoology, the freshman English teachers, we designed this to incorporate everything that you've learned about an argument. So you'll need to be able to prove to us that you don't just have an opinion, but you can back it up with, you can justify it. with what we know about the elements of a sound argument. So make sure that you have your notes in front of you. Make sure you've watched the videos. Make sure you've done the assignments. It'll make your life a lot easier. I'm going to go ahead and go log off right now so that you can go ahead and get started this week. If you do have questions, I hope that you will touch base with me and contact me. If you do, you know that I have office hours. You know that you can contact me on the website and go find the Zoom codes. You can reach me on Remind. I respond to your emails, like I said. I'd love to see you. If you pop in to the online office hours, that would be even better. Have a great Monday, and I will post your next video, of course, on Wednesday, and you can get started on your assignments. Tomorrow will be day 1 of your assignments. So have a great day. Goodbye.